every Monday. Our Alzheimer's action plan to protect your brain. Today on The Dr. Oz Show. Turn dinner into disease fighters with our anti-Alzheimer's meal plans.
The turmeric actually cleanses your brain.
Check out our essential grocery list. Daily brain boosters.
Your brain cells will thank you.
And has the pumpkin spice craze gone too far?
You happen to love pumpkin spice pizza.
Coming up next.
Are you ready to save some lives today?
I love you, Dr. Oz.
It's the disease that you dread most. So every Monday in November, I'm bringing together the biggest names in brain science to give you an Alzheimer's action plan that you can really use. From the latest sleep quiz, giving you personalized science to protect your brain, to the 10 surprising Alzheimer's triggers that you never saw coming. And to round out the month, we're going to be answering your questions at our biggest Alzheimer's summit yet. And today, we're kicking it all off with a brand new science-backed Alzheimer's meal plan. Take a look. Is the key to brain health through your mouth? The latest research says yes. But knowing what to eat to ward off Alzheimer's isn't so simple. Today we're giving you easy-to-follow steps to turn your meals into dementia preventers, the essential anti-Alzheimer's grocery list, and the easy-to-follow recipe videos I know you love. It was all developed by Ayesha and Sherzai, a brain scientist who advanced her degree in neurology while attending culinary school, along with her husband, another brain scientist, Dean Sherzai. Together, this husband and wife duo have married their knowledge to develop the anti-Alzheimer's meal plan for you. Dr. Dean, Dr. Ayesha are joining us. Now, you both found hope in Alzheimer's after spending a good part of your careers believing there wasn't any. So as world experts, what changed the game for you? What gave you hope?
Well, for such a long time, research around Alzheimer's was focused on one molecule or one process at a time. But if you look at the disease, it doesn't work that way. There are so many other processes that are involved over a lifetime that result in Alzheimer's disease. So you're really not going to find hope in looking at one process at a time. And we found that out by looking at other populations and population studies.
Now, we are co-directors in Loma Linda University, which is in Southern California. It's the only blue zone in America. This is the population that lives longer than everybody else and suffers from fewer chronic diseases, including Alzheimer's. So we needed to find out what they did differently, and we found many differences. But the prominent part of that was what they ate. And that's incredible hope for a disease that has no hope. Now we know that we have power and control over this horrendous disease, Alzheimer's.
And it's yours. It's yours for the taking. So let's get to the anti-Alzheimer's meal plan. The first step is just for 1 day a week, just 1 day a week, and start with that. You're going to replace any serving of meat that you might want to normally eat with a half a cup of legumes or a cup of whole grains. So before we get to the specifics of the food, Dean, this is a very, very simple, tiny, itty-bitty step. Why start there?
It's all about habits. We know as physicians, our biggest problem is how to institute habit change in populations. And that's what my favorite part of my work. I'm a behaviorist. Now, we have found out that with small incremental changes in our life, small incremental changes in our habits, we actually create habit pathways in our brain. And around that habit pathway, if you create further successes, that becomes a pattern, it becomes a network. Now, incidentally, the emotion that we create along with it, this joy, we give it a name. You know what that name is? Motivation. So now we have a mechanism behind that word motivation. It's success patterns and the emotions that follow it. That's why in our clinic, what we did was we instituted this personalized, success-based approach for each individual. That's the only way it can be successful. That's the only way.
Restated, can you do one thing today? Just one thing, right? That's the question. Replace meat once a week. Which grains, which legumes should they start with?
So great grains would be something like quinoa, oats, and barley. They're all incredible. They're packed with fiber, protein, and so many other nutrients. And as far as legumes are concerned, all kinds of beans and lentils are fabulous. But if you want to look at the blue zones, say, for example, Okinawa, Japan, kidney beans and pinto beans are a regular part of their daily diet.
So simple, seemingly so straightforward,
Yes.
You can't help. Next thing, you got to eliminate and replace obvious sugars. This is not such an easy step. Remember, you start with the easy stuff. Now we're going to sort of build you up to the more advanced plan.
That's right.
What do you mean by avoidable or obvious sugars?
So obvious sugars are the sugars that we see every day. The sodas, the candies, the cookies, the cakes. I think it's very important to reduce that, and we start with that because it's easy to spot, and it's just one step, but that small step makes such a huge difference. And you lower your sugar. The sugars that are in fruits and in whole grains, those are bound with fiber and so many other nutrients. So it actually stays in our gut, and it gets released very slowly into our bloodstream. So we will keep these.
She's letting you keep bread, guys. You all happy about this? You get to keep the bread, not all bread. Now,
Yes.
I've heard the story about refined sugars and tolerable in other forms in the arguments around diabetes. And I think a lot of folks are getting pretty comfortable that diabetes is made worse when you eat sugar, so it makes sense.
Absolutely.
But connecting that to the brain is not such an easy leap. What are you finding out, especially in animal models, about the link between diabetes and the brain?
Diabetes is a big risk for Alzheimer's disease. So we found out that plaques are formed in the brain when Alzheimer's develops.
Plaques like these.
Like these,
Okay, so pretend this is your brain, pretend. And these
Exactly.
little yellow things are the sap that sort of it messes up the power lines in the brain. So the connections don't move around like they're supposed to.
That's a great way to put it. So in a normal, healthy brain, we actually have mechanisms in place that gets rid of this plaque. So think of it as little scrubbers. So what these scrubbers do, that the plaques that develop during the day, these scrubbers actually get rid of them. Sorry, I got some on you.
It's okay. Part of the job.
And so when we eat a lot of sugar, insulin resistance develops. And what happens is these little scrubbers don't get activated, so they don't do their job. And you get to see these plaques developing and building over and over again, and that's
So
what
we normally
really
develop some of these little plaque-like substances,
We
right?
do,
So if you
we
don't
do.
have the cleaning mechanisms, even if you're
Exactly.
genetically predisposed to habits, you can't stop the plaque, you could always clean it up.
Exactly.
But if this is paralyzed and can't do the cleaning for you, then you just get this mess happening in your brain.
Exactly.
And this is Alzheimer's, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is what we think it looks like. And we've focused all of our energy at why this plaque starts, and we've ignored the fact we have cleanup tools. And I'll tell you what, in the body, that's very common. You'll often have things, you do exercise, your knees start to hurt. You have mechanisms to heal your knee, you can keep running.
Yes.
It's not just about preventing problems, it's about being able to treat them. Your body's normally able to do that.
Exactly.
Eating these kinds of refined sugars, the obvious sugars, paralyzes what's supposed to happen in your brain, which is why I've heard Alzheimer's referred to as diabetes of the brain.
Exactly. A lot of researchers refer to as type 3 diabetes. But it's so empowering to know that this is preventable, and you can actually start very early.
All right, next up, you say to increase your fiber intake by filling 50% of your plate, half your plate, with low glycemic vegetables.
So the importance of vegetables, we need vegetables in every meal. Besides the obvious benefits, vitamins, minerals, there's a magical quality to the fiber. The fiber seems to stabilize your glucose levels and your saturated fat levels. That's why they're so important. Our standard American diet, SAD, I know it's the acronym stands for SAD, it is very low in fiber. But we need at least 50 grams of fiber in our diet. There's some studies that show that it reduces your risk for diabetes as much as 80%.
80%?
80%. Now, diabetes is very strongly correlated with Alzheimer's. So right there, you have a way to actually abstain from the risk, lower the risk. That's why the diet that we choose, what we focus on is the low glycemic vegetables. The kind of vegetables that are artichoke, asparagus, broccoli, beets, and our favorite, sweet potato.
Sweet potatoes. They're amazing.
And there are many others.
So these are all foods that I think you can make. Well, in fact, we're going to give you a grocery list that Sherzais created it for us that everyone can use to guide their food purchases towards all these disease-fighting superfoods, right? The nuts and the beans and the greens and all those things we talked to you about. And you can get the whole grocery list on DrOz.com. Now, I want to show you something else. This is what I want you to add in, a little extra bonus tip here. These are the daily brain boosters. So we're going to start off with one that's gotten a lot of popularity, turmeric. Now, why is this so important?
So turmeric, and one of its components called curcumin, is an anti-amyloid powerhouse. We've always known that it has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects, but it actually binds to beta amyloid protein in the brain and gets rid of it.
Like that scrub brush almost.
Just like that scrub brush that we saw. So it's an incredible thing to add to our daily meals.
So curried foods have this.
Yes.
Is this why we think folks in India might have a lower incidence of Alzheimer's?
Definitely. There's been studies that have measured that to see how much they consume turmeric in their diet, and it has been associated with lower risk of Alzheimer's disease.
Who likes curried foods here? I thought if you want to remember what's going on in your life, you ought to get comfortable with it. This is pretty easy. It's tasty, simple. Just a little nudge to our diet.
Absolutely.
Next brain booster, sunflower
So
seeds.
this little seed, it is packed. It's a dynamite filled with vitamins, minerals, the antioxidants, as well as this polyunsaturated fats. The vitamins are magnesium, selenium, zinc. We have the vitamin Bs, all the vitamins. But what's important about something like this, they work in synergy. We now know that vitamins don't work in isolation. Right. Study after study is coming out that vitamins are not as effective in isolation. But when they work in synergy in this little seed, they are the best thing you can add to every food.
All right, and finally, sauerkraut. Now, listen, all couples fight. Even if they're doctors and dealing with the same disease, they fight. But here we had a very big schism between the Sherzais. Take it away.
Yeah, so it's the love it or hate it probiotic. I know some people don't like sauerkraut.
I'm not a huge fan.
But
he refused to give this tip. That's the kind of fan he is.
But the beautiful thing is that if you add sauerkraut or any probiotics to our diet, it feeds the good bacteria and reduces the risk for Alzheimer's disease. The fun thing is, though, you can hide sauerkraut in so many other ways in the meal that people won't even notice
She hides it in everything.
You have no idea what you're eating.
I've tricked him.
Yes.
Many
Even in my
times.
toothpaste. I mean,
It's just coiling you around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, if you don't like sauerkraut and turmeric's not your thing, then it's not making you lick your lips. I get it. But take a look at the Sherzai's Mindful Mac and Cheese. Look at that, guys. That contains both. It contains both. It's a way of tricking your taste buds and making you live longer. And remembering those days, we're going to show you how to make this and other amazing anti-Alzheimer's meals when we come back. Nice job.
All new Oz, the hidden health benefits of apple cider vinegar you haven't heard. All new Oz.
That's coming up tomorrow. It's Monday, and that means we're giving you another step in your Alzheimer's action plan. Husband and wife duo, Dean and Ayesha Sherzai, took everything they learned from their brain lab to their home kitchen to develop the anti-Alzheimer's meal plan for you. So first, take a look at what a day on the anti-Alzheimer's meal plan looks like. It looks fantastic, it's tasty, all that stuff. But here's the best part, you're gonna remember it. You remember that you ate the food many, many years from now because you're not gonna have Alzheimer's. So let's start with breakfast. It's a tofu turmeric scramble. So, Dean, what are the anti-Alzheimer's benefits of this?
So let's start by the obvious. Tofu can be intimidating, but it basically takes any taste you give it. It just changes. It's almost like a shapeshifter. So it's a wonderful tool in your diet. Now, the turmeric, I just spoke about that. It actually cleanses your brain from the beta amyloid, the bad protein. That's incredibly important.
The sap is clunking up everything.
Absolutely.
That's
So
right.
that's important.
Yeah.
Now, the wonderful part of the what we use as a replacement for cheese, which is the nutritional yeast, is wonderful because it has the savory taste.
It has that umami taste. A lot of people miss cheese. So the nutritional yeast actually gives it that savoriness.
There's no cheese in this?
There's no cheese in this.
You would never know that, guys.
Yeah.
Ever.
And again, I would add this to anything. It's a wonderful dish.
All right, so the base is this shapeshifter tofu. How do you handle it?
So you get tofu in these blocks from the grocery store, and all you have to do is just, take it out of the container. It's usually in a water-filled container, and just squeeze it gently to get all the water out, just like that.
My wife has a hack for this because she's vegetarian.
Yes.
So I'll teach you, since you got all this tip from me.
Let's do it.
So take some paper towels, lay the tofu in there. You want to get the water out because otherwise it won't be able to absorb all the stuff you want to put in there. And just wrap it in the paper towel, then put something heavy, right? I use this,
I'll use this
iron
book.
cast pan, a book,
pretty
whatever,
heavy.
right? I mean, you don't have to impress on it. Just let it be there. Just give it a few minutes. It'll naturally seep it all out. Once you've gotten that out, right, and all the moisture's out of it, then you gotta, I guess you crumble it too, right?
Yes, we do. So just go ahead and crumble it into small little pieces. The smaller the better because you want all the spices and the nutritional yeast to get into each and every crevices and make it flavorful. It's really easy.
Right. Simple, easy to do, and I tell you, I'm gonna pass this around in the break. You're not gonna know there's not cheese in this thing. All right, next, for lunch, you guys managed to get 2 brain boosters into it at once. They've got sauerkraut and they got turmeric, and they put it into a macaroni and cheese without losing the traditional rich flavor. So take a look at this, super simple. That must fill you guys up. That looks fantastic.
It is
Yes.
incredibly filling. I mean, this is not rabbit food. When she makes this food, we are full for the night.
All right, next up for dinner, cauliflower steak with cremini mushroom gravy, sweet potato mash. Ugh,
Sounds amazing.
it doesn't look like diet food to me, right? You guys in the cauliflower steaks? No, see that? No applause. They're very honest here, right? Now, folks don't want diet food. It doesn't look like diet food. But this idea of a cauliflower steak, it could be revolutionary. We've been eating it a lot in our home.
Yeah.
And it's got that perfect texture. It fills the plate. It looks like a steak. I know it doesn't taste like a steak. It's not supposed to taste like a steak.
Yeah.
It's supposed to taste like something that's good for you, but tastes good at the same time. So how do you actually slice up your cauliflower?
Absolutely. So what you do is you take the cauliflower and you get rid of all the stems and the leaves at the bottom, and you make sure that the core is intact. So we're going to do this one at a time.
This is usually my job. I'm the sous chef.
I know.
I have a similar task. But why do you have to leave the core at the bottom?
You want to leave the core at the bottom because if you get rid of the core, the florets will all fall apart.
Okay.
And then what you do is you basically cut it into about an inch and a half a thick slice, something that you can place on top of your baking sheet, something like that. There you go.
What is this?
Pan. That is a combination of olive oil, lots of herbs like sage and thyme and rosemary and whatever you like.
So you could paint with that.
You can paint it. Yes. Let's paint. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do some.
Yeah, you guys paint.
All right. We're going to actually put it on top of the on the cauliflower like this, making sure that there's just a lot of herbs and that olive oil.
And through the magic of television,
all of the layers.
Through the magic of TV, it looks like this.
Yes.
After how many minutes?
You place it in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then you take it out, you flip it, and then let it roast. You just want to get that golden char on the edges because it tastes so good. It
does.
You know, it's a humble steak. It doesn't really.
And it looks
like a
brain.
brain.
It does?
Yes.
It looks like your brain, as a neurologist can attest. I mean, you eat it. Even my son Oliver, who's a carnivore, loves this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing how a vegetable can taste well if it's cooked properly. Especially with the herbs, it can proudly take the centerpiece of any table, and your brain cells will thank you.
When we come back, we're rounding out this Alzheimer's meal plan with a delicious snack and dessert that's going to keep you full. This may be the best part of the whole plan.
New investigations, true crime cases, and the biggest stars. All November, only on Oz.
We're back with anti-Alzheimer's desserts and snacks you can start eating today. And the best part of this meal plan is that the doctors who developed it do not want you to give up bread. In fact, to prove it, they got a snack. It's the banana almond butter whole wheat toast. How can you do that? How can you offer foods that help with Alzheimer's and still have bread in them? I thought that was taboo.
Not really, no. As long as it's 100% whole grain and it doesn't have any sugar or saturated fats, it's actually great for the brain because it comes with complex carbohydrates and fibers that lower your cholesterol and protein and other nutrients. And then we add the nut butter because it's a great source of unsaturated fat, which are fabulous for the brain. And then, of course, the banana gives you the sweetness.
All right, so this is fantastic. I've already tasted it, but I want you to take a look at this next dessert, which is a pièce de résistance, just a special little thing. It's key lime pie. Dean, really? Key lime pie? Are you serious?
This is absolutely my favorite. This goes without saying.
Are you trying to attract more patients or help them?
No, this is actually doing both because they're coming to get the recipe instead of a recipe for medication. This is also guilt-free because it has avocado, it has nuts, it has the good fats, and it doesn't have any of the refined sugar. That's what makes this wonderful. And it's a combination of those things that actually make you want to eat it. Now, if we want to have healthy meals, but it doesn't taste good, it's a failure over and over again. We have 2 kids, preteen kids. There would be a revolution in our house if the food didn't taste well.
That's true.
So
They want their taste.
this is why this is important.
Can you tell there's no dairy in it?
No, I can't. In fact, I have no idea what's in this, but I want you all to figure this out. So they made a video to show you exactly how to make it. Take a look. Oh, this is good. So listen, do you like it as much as I like this?
Oh, it's good. Wow. Really good.
Happiness in the audience. That's success. We're going to put all these recipes in the full anti-Alzheimer's meal plan on DrOz.com. Let me say, Ayesha and Dean, you guys did a wonderful job pulling all this.
Thank you.
You took stuff out of the laboratory and you brought it into our kitchen so it can help all of us. God bless you for doing that. They put it together in a fantastic book called The Alzheimer's Solution. Check it out. Give it to people you love in your life. It'll make a difference. It's part of our month-long Alzheimer's action plan. We'll be right back. A 19-year-old last seen at a party, staggering alone through hallways, found dead in a hotel freezer. What happened to Kanika Jenkins? Our exclusive investigation. That's coming up tomorrow. The pumpkin spice craze was officially born in 2003 when a group of Starbucks employees set out to invent a latte that epitomized autumn. Soon, tons of other beverages jumped onto the pumpkin spice hayride wagon. And now, in 2017, pumpkin spice has invaded not only our drinks, but nearly every food imaginable. So today we are deconstructing what's really inside your favorite pumpkin spice treats. Now, Delish.com food expert Joanna Salas is here. She's brought along some of her go-to testers to try the latest must-have pumpkin spice products. So you know which ones are worth trying. The She and the Delish are obsessed, I mean obsessed, with pumpkin spice. Did I get it right? But why are you guys so big on this stuff? Why has this craze gotten so massive?
Dr. Oz, pumpkin spice time of year is basically an American holiday, and it starts in July. That's how it rolls now. Am I wrong?
No, totally. When it's hot and gross out during the summer, everyone's just thinking about sweater weather, and people just are craving cozy, and pumpkin spice is the coziest flavor ever.
Totally.
You know, nobody likes food FOMO. No, it gives you indigestion.
Well,
Fear of
because
missing out.
everyone they don't want to miss out. Some of these products are only available for like 6 weeks, like 2 months, so everybody needs to get on the X.
What if you don't get to taste it this season? You have to
Yeah.
wait 12 months until next
Exactly.
year.
You just can't stand it. All right, so give me an example. Walk me through some of the things you got here.
Well, honestly, I feel like we're gonna break it down for you in a little bit. You're gonna see how we get really, really crazy stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna give anything away, but it's about to get a little bit weird in the pumpkin spice worlds. But I'm gonna let you try a donut right now.
Oh, this is good.
Don't you want to curl up in front of a fire?
That's spectacular. I'm going to take this with me if you don't mind.
Do it.
Let's start off. We got a food scientist with us. Taylor Wallace is joining us. He's at the deconstruction table. He's going to tell us what's really in pumpkin spice products like these, like this donut right here. Taylor, break it down for us. Is there a pumpkin in my pumpkin donut?
Of
pumpkin
course
spice
not,
donut.
Dr. Oz. There's no pumpkin in pumpkin spice. If you recall, a few years ago, Starbucks actually got in hot water because their latte actually didn't contain pumpkin. Eventually, they added a little bit, but the bottom line is pumpkin spice is made to mimic pumpkin pie flavor and not pumpkin.
Not the pumpkin. So let's go through this. I'm going to see what's actually inside, in theory, pumpkin spice. Are you ready? So deconstructing it, we got all these goodies here. So to walk me through what these are and why they work together so beautifully.
So these are the 5 spices that comprise pumpkin spice: cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, allspice, and ginger. And there are all natural forms of many different products out there this time of year, as you've seen.
But is this exactly what they add to this donut to make this taste like pumpkin spice?
Not exactly, so let's deconstruct it. There are over 80 different food additives that food scientists use to mimic pumpkin spice flavor. So the goal companies have are to create that flavor that comes out when the pumpkin pie is actually baked.
It takes 80 chemicals to do that?
Well, not exactly. There are about 350 different flavors in pumpkin spice. But as food scientists, we don't use all 350 flavors because we know if you use a handful of them, the brain will piece the rest of the puzzle together and take you to that pumpkin pie experience.
Connecting the dots ourselves. So these are the raw chemicals that are in parts of these, is that right?
So these are the main flavor compounds that are naturally present in different types of spices. For instance, cinnamic aldehyde is the main flavor component in cinnamon. Eugenol is present in cloves and allspice. Vanillin is, of course, the main component of all-natural vanilla extract. And terpenoids are in nutmeg.
These are crazy chemical names. Are they dangerous?
Absolutely not. In fact, there's no scientific evidence that shows they're harmful at all. In fact, companies use them all the time in products. They have a wide history of safe use for decades, literally.
But here's the question, dude. Why do we love pumpkin spice products so much? I mean, I don't know. I see them in this form. I'm not so enamored. This looks sort of tasty. You put them in a donut, I'm all in. So I'm going to show you all your brain on a pumpkin spice latte. Take a look. You take a drink of the latte, and the first thing that happens is an explosion of flavor. The sugar and fat combine together to make the flavor pop. And combined with salt, the most powerful food enhancer, your taste buds are on fire. But on top of that, you're getting hit with the specific pumpkin spice notes: cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg. These all combine to create a very special sensation to your brain. As you taste all the pumpkin spice notes, your brain begins to associate those flavors with nostalgic memories. Halloween, the fall, family. It makes you happy. Now add in the caffeine, which causes your synapses to start firing even faster to give you an energy high. You have a flavorful, nostalgic energy high, combining into an experience that is hard to resist. I know a lot of you can identify with that. That's what it tastes like when that blissful moment happens, isn't it? You can find all of Taylor's nutrition tips at drtaylorwallace.com. Coming up, we've scoured the shelves and tasted dozens of products. Now, it is finally time to reveal which pumpkin spice food not only tastes good, but is good for you. But first, a quiz as we go to break. Which of these pumpkin spice products is fake? Pumpkin spice pizza, pumpkin spice beef jerky, pumpkin spice salmon, pumpkin spice deodorant. Coming up, the pumpkin spice craze. Find out what's really in your favorite pumpkin spice foods and which new products are worth trying. Which of these pumpkin spice products is fake? Pumpkin spice pizza, pumpkin spice beef jerky, pumpkin spice salmon, pumpkin spice deodorant. We're back with Your Food Deconstructed, pumpkin spice foods, that is, and my go-to tester, Renatha, is joining us. Now, which of those foods I just gave you do you think is fake?
Okay, you know, a lot of those are PS, but one of them is definitely some BS, okay? So I think it's the pizza. It's the
pumpkin
pizza.
spice pizza, that wouldn't be very good.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right at all.
I was going with the pumpkin spice salmon myself. That's pretty hard to make.
Oh, mercy.
Coming over here, because the answer, it turns out, is beef jerky.
Oh.
Can you imagine that? Beef jerky, to our knowledge, there has not yet been a pumpkin spice beef jerky, but the rest really are real. So we got Joanna Salz back and her team from Delish.com have been taste testing pumpkin spice products all day long. They are actually gained weight on our set, trying to figure out which ones are worth trying. And you happen to love pumpkin spice pizza.
That is my pick. Now, what we have here are some really weird freaks of nature. We call this the WTS table. What the spice? So this is stuff, it's like, why in the world did someone decide that this needs to happen? So we got some pumpkin spice wine.
Try it.
Try this.
Give a little taste.
Oh.
No?
That was a bad idea.
Not good?
That was a bad idea.
Maybe we need to chill it for you guys next time. We got some pumpkin spice gum. I don't know if that's a palate
Don't waste some of the gum. We want the pizza.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just have to call this one out, though. Pumpkin spice deodorant. You don't think we should have? We didn't taste that, though.
Yeah.
We couldn't get on board with this.
What would it taste like, I wonder?
I can't imagine. But let's try the pumpkin spice pizza. Now, here's why we picked it. Imagine pumpkin spice, pumpkin ravioli, right? I mean, that's an Italian favorite. People love it. It's super delicious. Pumpkin Alfredo, right?
You know what?
Not bad.
You know what? This tastes a little good.
This is actually, I like this.
And I'm not joking. And I know a lot of people think I'll be, playing around, but no, this really tastes a little good.
And you're right, it's like ravioli.
It tastes like ravioli. I mean, honestly, we kind of know what we're doing at Delish. I don't want to say we sort of know flavors. You got to trust us on this one. But let's go over here. All right. You want to give it a test?
Ugh.
Look, it's easy.
Yeah.
I have easy access to my arm. Go right there. How's it smell?
It smells good. This could work also.
Yes, I'm fall fresh, exactly.
Fall fresh. All right, so the first table are the ones you never in a million years would think they put pumpkin spice. This is the sort of the middle group.
Yeah.
Well,
So this
maybe.
These are a little less shocking. I think that we're like a little bit surprised at Delish to see that they made these, but frankly, when it comes down to it, protein bars, pumpkin spice protein bars.
This makes sense. Mm-hmm.
You could kind of get on board with something.
These are good too.
Right. It's a little chewy,
yeah,
but
totally. And
but the flavor definitely works with it.
And I think that they did a great job with those. Pumpkin spice cereal, come on now. This is a favorite.
Yeah,
this is delicious. And I really love
Forget
this
that.
one
This
as
is
well.
what I'm going for.
Exactly. Ice cream. Let's
now,
get
wait
on.
a minute. Here we go. Watch this. Cereal
and ice cream.
There's
my Renata.
This is professional level.
They're professional eater.
This is a professional. And then we've got pumpkin spice peanut butter. I mean, honestly, these are not so crazy. But for us at Delish, the pick for us, our favorite was the ice cream. And I'm going to have to find out what you guys think.
But the ice cream's the winner.
Right.
All right.
And try it with the cereal.
Yeah,
There's something else.
Yeah.
Take one more bite.
No.
We're gonna try these now.
Now, these are the ones we actually expect that pumpkin spice in them.
Absolutely. So this is like waffles. These are all really warm sort of foods. Waffles, bagels. We've got pumpkin spice toast. We've got pumpkin spice English muffins. We've got low-fat yogurt. This is stuff that nothing here really surprised us. This is exactly what pumpkin bread was made for.
They added pumpkin spice
They
flavoring?
added pumpkin to this actual low-fat yogurt.
And this is Greek.
This is Greek
Oh, this
yogurt,
is
so it's
really
delicious.
good.
Hold up, I'll tell you. Hold on.
Oh, wait. Professional here.
Professional Renata, but I'm telling you, she's gonna like that. I know her taste buds.
Oh, yes.
So good.
Isn't it good? Toast.
Go ahead.
I'm actually surprised. I would not have expected the yogurt to be, it's Swedish sort of, but that makes it more savory.
But what's really nice, I think, about it, what's extra great about this one, and this one's really our pick for both flavor and nutrition, is that everything on this label you'd recognize as an ingredient, and pumpkin is one of the first 5 ingredients, so you know it's really wholesome and delicious. We also love the English muffins, a great way to switch up a boring breakfast routine if you're someone who loves to just
And
like
we put the yogurt on top of the English muffin.
I mean,
try
we
that.
are.
Okay.
We gotta try all this stuff.
something right here.
This is too much for me. This is too much for you. You need to come to work for Delish.
Oh,
It's
my
what you
goodness.
need to do.
Call me. It's okay.
She's busy. All right, still, you want some pumpkin in your life, a little bit more than we're giving you here? Coming up next, we have a special guest with a perfect pumpkin recipe. Stick around, you will like this. And as we go to break, a video from the Delish.com, guys, that shows you how to make a fall condiment that turns any food into a pumpkin spice food. Tis the season for everything pumpkin. And get ready, we have the ultimate pumpkin dessert from my good friend, Martha Stewart. Come on out, Martha.
Pumpkin. Hello.
I love having you here. All right, fall, pumpkin.
Everything pumpkin.
Why do you love pumpkin so much?
Well, I grow pumpkins, and I like the taste of pumpkins, and they're good for you. Yes.
All those orange things, they have carotenoids in them. It's one of the most important vitamins for us. But
Yeah.
the taste, to get it really right.
You need spice.
You need spice.
You need spice, that's right. So we're going to make this beautiful, look at this beautiful pumpkin loaf with pumpkin seeds.
Oh.
And it's very, very easy. It's a quick bread. And in the bowl here, we have all our dry ingredients: flour, allspice, nutmeg, baking powder, baking soda, some kosher salt, and a cup of sugar. So you can whisk that together.
So that's all this part, the dry part.
Yeah.
All right.
And the recipe is right on your website.
Yes.
And it's also in our magazine. So 1 1/4 cups of pumpkin puree. Now, I find that canned pumpkin is very good. It's one of the few cans I open in my kitchen. I have very few cans in my pantry.
Do you think it tastes better or just
No,
easier?
it's good. It works perfectly. It tastes good. And you can use canned pumpkin right out of a can.
When do I put the eggs in?
Oh, here. So in the pumpkin puree, here, break eggs in there for me.
These are Martha's eggs, by
No,
the way.
these. Here
these
they are
ones.
already. Those are mine too. but
No.
those are hard boiled.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Thanks for warning me. That would have been ugly.
Why don't you try cracking one of those?
See what
Dr.
happens.
Wallace?
Let's take the dark one.
Yeah.
See, it's perfect. You're
Perfect.
trickster. All right.
Yes. So
Now,
put that in.
Surgeons, of course, always do this with one hand.
Okay. So
She's
3
completely,
eggs.
completely unimpressed. She's
A quarter a cup of fresh orange juice. Always use fresh
Let me
juice.
see how you crack an egg. Let me just see.
I probably do it a little bit more differently than you because I don't want to even risk getting any shell in there.
That's calcium.
Well,
The shell's calcium.
Sorry, it's crunchy and unnecessary. 1 whole stick of unsalted butter. Add that into the mix, and you can start whisking. So you want to get that really well mixed. Use your elbow grease.
What's the art of whisking without getting yourself all dirty?
Well, you're not going to. Well, just carefully.
Carefully.
And 2 teaspoons of orange zest, which is the bright orange skin that's zested off with a great grater. I gave you one of those ones.
Yes, you did, and I still have it. And you can't cut yourself with yours. It's safer.
More. Easy, just easy. Use your wrist. You have a good wrist.
Hey, let me see.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that it's all mixed. Okay, good. So now you add this to that.
Why not add this to that?
Well, you could, but that bowl's bigger. Look and see.
Is it really bigger?
It is definitely bigger.
Yes, it's bigger. Okay. Hers is bigger. Hers is bigger.
Okay, so get it all out of there. And then just gently whisk that together so you incorporate the dry with the wet.
Perfect.
Okay. And
This doesn't take very long to make, too. Which is so nice.
it's better to do it with this because that's going to get all gloppy.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Thanks for not telling me that.
So here, just go like that.
Yeah, Martha.
This way. Here, start in the middle like this,
Yes.
and you're folding. You're basically folding the wet into the dry. See?
All right, I can
Like
do that.
that,
I can
yeah.
do that.
You can
You would have been a good surgeon, Martha.
Oh, I would. I was going to be a doctor if
You were?
I was, but then I decided I would be a veterinarian because I really like taking care of animals more than people. and I'm very nurturing to animals. But then I got somehow waylaid into lifestyle.
Now, you're not nurturing the people?
Of course.
I think
I
you are.
nurture them with food and
Exactly.
delicious recipes.
You would have been a doctor just fine.
Okay, so now that, once you scrape all the dry, you want it to look just one color. And then you have your loaf pan. This is a typical bread pan, buttered and lightly floured. Okay, I still see a little flour.
I still see.
Doctor, you're not going to leave any little thing left.
Your operating room is pristine.
Yes, as yours is.
All right.
Sure. Okay,
There.
now this can go into here. Yep.
There we are. Yes.
Yeah,
One color, notice,
it
everybody.
takes a kind of skill, but you have it.
I have what it takes?
You have what it takes. And then just layer this nicely and smooth it out. And then the best part of all is to top it. Wait. You want that only on the outside. And you top the loaf.
Now?
Oh, and your
Now?
oven should be preheated, by the way, at 375. Yes, now you just put it all over the top.
Little pizzazz to that.
Yes.
How long do you cook it for?
And this is for approximately 1 hour. And so this adds nutrition too, to have these lovely pepitas,
Got lots
which are hulled pumpkin seeds.
Lots of zinc.
Oh yeah, here we go.
All right, now here's a question. You know what I'm going to do?
What do you think?
Oh my goodness. This is so good. Come on over here.
So good.
You cut, I'll dough. Let's go to the audience.
Oh yeah, want to try?
The recipe, by the way, is up on our website.
Okay.
We're going to cut each other. And don't forget to pick up a copy of Martha's November issue of her magazine, which is superb as always. Give it a taste, see if you like it. She's chopping it up for you. Watch her, she's armed.
There.
Now, I want some honesty out there, guys. Honesty.
Tell me what you think. I think the flavor's just spot on.
What do you think?
Amazing.
The happy customers. Up next, a bonus pumpkin dessert. You dropped it on the ground. Oh, man, you almost cut me. A bonus pumpkin dessert you can make in your slow cooker. You're going to want to see this. Give me that knife. God, you're...
All new Oz, the hidden health benefits of apple cider vinegar you haven't heard. all new Oz.
That's coming up tomorrow. We're back with Martha Stewart for an extra 30. She is sharing a pumpkin dessert you can actually make in your slow cooker. It's called the Pumpkin Slow Cooker Cheesecake from your new cookbook.
Yes.
Congratulations.
And
look at the picture. That's so beautiful.
It is. It's beautiful. And here's the finished product.
Ooh.
So you can really make a very luscious, creamy cheesecake in the slow cooker. And you can create what I call the bain-marie, which is a little steam bath inside. So there's water here. Right. Make believe this is filled with first the ginger. This is a ginger snap crust.
Oh.
And pumpkin.
So this is the bottom.
That's the bottom.
Pumpkin. What's
pumpkin, cream cheese, eggs, some spice, and a little bit of butter for the crust, butter and flour for the crust. So you put this in here, but don't put this metal right onto the bottom. Use a little trick. 3 little aluminum foil balls.
Can you use balls of steel too?
You could, if you have them. If you have them. Oh. But this prevents the metal from cooking too fast. You see? So that's the way you keep.
I'm having trouble focusing.
Oh.
Martha Stewart, God bless you.
So want to taste?
Yeah, I want to taste this. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's grab some of these. Everything you make is so darn good. I really appreciate it. And by the way, the recipe.
And cheesecake made with pumpkin. It's so good.
Oh.
And ginger snap.
Come on, let's do it to the audience. We'll share this again.
Okay, right.
Happy and healthy, everybody. Starts at home. Such a good woman to have.
Now you.
These are really good.